Today, they're known for their distinguished flight careers, but at one time, the nation's first African-American pilots faced intense racism. This week, Tuskegee Airmen got a chance to reminisce as they gathered to mark their 70th anniversary. Patricia Villone has more on their story from National Harbor.
It's been 7 decades since America's first black military pilots received their flight training at the Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama. For the last 40 years, the airmen and others who worked on the base have gotten together for an annual convention. This year, they reunited at National Harbor.
They wanted to serve to the best of their abilities, not to just do menial tasks, but to show that they had skills to perform with highly technical machines like airplanes that were very advanced for the time, and then show that they had the courage to fight and face the enemy, which a lot of people said that they couldn't. So with that, they inspired a number of other people to say, okay, I can do better, I can perform better, and I can serve my country better than what they're allowing me to at this time.
These distinguished aviators weren't always so warmly received at home. Milton Holmes recalls the days immediately after World War II.
9,400 of them that got arrested because they couldn't, they went to the White Officers Club. They wouldn't allow them to be there. However, the German prisoners and the Italian prisoners could go and socialize together, but we could not. So then I was very bitter when I got out.
This year marks a turning point for one of the aircraft used to train more than 1,000 Tuskegee aviators. Air Force Captain Matthew Kawhi bought the plane off eBay, restored it, and is now donating the aircraft to the Smithsonian Museum.
We found this one as a wreck. It had been damaged and totaled by the insurance company, and so I bought it, and with the help of a good friend who has a restoration shop, we took about 3 years to rebuild the aircraft. But the unique part about it was about a week after we got the plane, we submitted the Army Air Corps serial number to the historians out at Maxwell Air Force Base. And that's when we found out, they gave us a call and asked me if I was sitting down because they had some big news for me. And that's how we found out that the airplane crew at Tuskegee, Alabama, back in World War II was a primary trainer.
Many of the original Tuskegee Airmen who are now in their late 80s and 90s want to get a message across to a much younger generation that education is the key that made them successful.
After slavery, we broke into 2 camps. One was W.E.B. Du Bois and his direction toward academics, and Booker T. Washington, his direction toward trade. I think that the Tuskegee experiment was an instance where both of those schools came together. There was quite a large infrastructure, you know. It took about 16,000 men to train one pilot. Those 16,000 were not necessarily academic, but the ones that became pilots were.
What my message would be to kids, the preparation you give yourself, when you don't have to, it'll go a long ways to what you'll be when you can't help it.
From National Harbor, Patricia Villone, CTV News.
Today is the last day of the annual Tuskegee Convention. And, you know, when you look at a piece like that, you really feel like you're a part of history. It's such a treasure, especially knowing that so many of the aviators may not be around for future conventions. So it's just really great to really have that here, that history.
And you're right, as Patty had reported, some of these airmen, even in their 90s, feel so strongly about education that they're taking the time out to reach out to these young people and teach them about the history.
Absolutely. So paying it forward for the next generation.
For
it's
sure.
Nice to see that.